Israeli tanks leave Gaza after fierce fighting, says Hamas. Panic and fear grip Gaza, where over 1 million residents are displaced and thousands of buildings destroyed. Israeli tanks that advanced into the fringes of Gaza City were forced to retreat after fierce fighting with Hamas militants. The tanks, which had been stationed at the city's outskirts, were seen moving back towards the Israeli border. Hamas, the group that controls Gaza, claimed victory. They said that they had resisted the Israeli military's onslaught and had forced them to withdraw. While Israeli tanks have pulled back, the battle has left Gaza in ruins. Panic and fear have gripped the people of Gaza. The relentless bombing and the ground invasion by Israeli forces have left many residents scarred and traumatized. Thousands have been displaced from their homes, with nowhere to go. The city now lies in ruins, with entire neighborhoods flattened and infrastructure severely damaged. Hospitals, schools, and other essential facilities have not been spared, complicating the humanitarian crisis even further. The Palestinian Health Ministry has reported a high number of casualties. This includes both militants and civilians, amongst them women, children, and the elderly. The international community has expressed grave concern over these reports, calling for an immediate end to the violence. The Israeli military has defended its actions, stating that they were aiming at Hamas targets, including tunnels and rocket launch sites. They have alleged that Hamas is using civilians as human shields, a claim that Hamas denies. Hamas, on the other hand, claims that it is fighting to defend its people and its land. They argue that the Israeli military's actions are disproportionate and violate international law. The Israeli withdrawal has brought some temporary respite, but the situation remains tense. The fear of another escalation is palpable, with many residents unsure of what the coming days will bring. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza is deepening. Aid agencies are struggling to provide essential services. With the infrastructure in ruins and large parts of the city without electricity or running water, living conditions are deteriorating rapidly. The international community has called for a ceasefire, urging both sides to put down their weapons and engage in dialogue. The United Nations has expressed deep concern over the situation and has dispatched a special envoy to the region. Despite the withdrawal of Israeli tanks, the threat of further conflict looms. The Israeli military remains on high alert, and there are reports of continued air strikes and artillery fire. The people of Gaza, already living under a blockade and economic hardships, are now dealing with the aftermath of a devastating war. The physical and psychological wounds run deep, and the path to recovery looks long and uncertain. In the midst of all this, there are stories of resilience and courage. Doctors, nurses, and volunteers are working round the clock to save lives and provide relief. Ordinary citizens are opening their homes to those displaced, offering food, shelter, and comfort. The voices from Gaza are clear. They want peace. They want an end to the violence and the bloodshed. They want a future where their children can grow up without fear, where they can live with dignity and freedom. The world is watching closely, hoping for a peaceful resolution. The stakes are high and the international community must step up its efforts to mediate and bring an end to the conflict. For now, the tanks may have left, but the crisis in Gaza is far from over. The scars of war are deep, and the echoes of the bombs still ring in the ears of the people. The fear, the uncertainty, the destruction, these are realities that the people of Gaza have to live with every day. This is a call to action, a plea for peace. It's time to put down the weapons, to stop the violence, to start the healing. Gaza, and its people, take no more. The world must not turn a blind eye. It's time to stand up for Gaza, to stand up for peace. For a world where every child can grow up without fear, every family can live without displacement, and every city can stand tall without the shadows of war. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Next update.